So I think the idea of having chickens for a lot of people is kind of like, the whole farming, like doing things sustainably. And they kind of fall in love with that idea, and then they get chickens and they realize, man, this is a lot of work. Because any animal is a lot of work. But a lot of people don't think about that. In order to keep like the coop clean and stuff like that, there is a lot of work involved. The reality of owning chickens is a little bit different than I think that some YouTubers kind of show, and they're like, oh well, they always go up to their coop and it's clean. They don't really show you like the reality of it. So let me show you the reality of my chicken coop. So it's Saturday, it's 9 o'clock, got stuff to do today. But before I do those things, I have to clean the coop, I have to give them water. So they're completely out of water right now, except for the big water. So they're a little wound up this morning because they need some water. The water's out, so I'm gonna give them some water. But I wanted to show, like, to keep the coop from stinking, we really have to get all this up. And so that, and then actually on the front here, because at night they like to sit up on top of this coop whenever it's warm enough. They'll actually just stay outside and sleep on the coop, and I don't make them go inside the coop. It's if they want to. The only time I'll make them go inside the coop if it's below zero, then I'll kind of coerce them in, but they don't go in there, I guess, because it gets too hot. So that's kind of where we are. And they knock things over, like, of course that's one of their feeders. It got knocked over, it was over on the ground. When they knock it over, they'll poop on it. So as you can see, inside their watering containers, there's feces in there. You got to get all that out. You got to clean that out because they can't have that getting in their system. So that's why I do this every couple days and make sure that they're all around me, that I make sure that I get everything cleaned and ready to go before I put it back in. So I just pulled most of this off that cage. Look how deep this is. At the bottom of the bucket there. That's a lot of poo. So usually I'll just take it and put it in the greenhouse because it, puts off heat. That's the only reason. Set it there, and then I'll show you kind of what I got it cleaned up so far. So we just got all the mess up, and now I'm just kind of working on other stuff. They're kind of still roaming around. Okay, move, ladies. Move, ladies. So I had to scrape off all of this, cleaned it up, cleaned off all the way around any place where they eat. That's the top, so these are clean now. The ground just kind of sprinkled some of the pellets for their food around. Just making sure that they're overall their little water things are working. Is this out of water? Nope. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so just making sure they're good. There you go. Here's some water. Right there. Look. Huh. You drink out of that? Okay. So just making sure that they have more water. I'm gonna bring in their other watering dish, and then I'm going to bust out one of these. I usually put hay down for them, but I bought some of this these pine shavings, and we're gonna just put these all over the ground. I'm just gonna let them break down into the hay and the other stuff, and then we'll end up moving some of that to the garden later on. But yeah, it's a lot of work for these little bitties. So what I ended up doing was I covered the ground, not completely covered it, but put something down. So usually I either put hay or these cedar chips, and just gives them something to kick around. So as they forage for food, sometimes I'll take some food and sprinkle it around on the ground because they like to look around. So I just kind of do that, and then I just started putting a lot of it here so that when they use the bathroom and it rolls down, it will get caught into this. And then their little hidey hole down there, got them hooked up. But so they're pretty good. And normally what I do, let me see if I can get you a good shot of this, is because it's winter time, I usually fill the interior of their area with straw, and it'll allow them to stay warm. Now they'll also eat this straw to a certain point, but it helps. So anything that helps and then reduces the smell, because that's the one thing we don't want. We don't want the yard to smell, or for the neighbors to complain, because this is actually in, not really the city, but the outskirts of the city, so town. But yeah, it's just a good way to keep things clean and not have to worry about it. So they're done. Everything is good. You can't smell anything. They smell like nothing. like no chickens are here. So pretty much that's the thing. You have to really take care of them. You have to do a lot. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. You know. You guys take it easy. Peace.